Hello. Um, what I've got is a Africa Twin 2016 model, just the base, and I needed a bash plate, did some checking, looked at all of them, and being here in Australia I went with the B&B, which arrived yesterday. I went the next level up because I didn't want all of the bike to look like a cage with all the different roll bars and crash bars and you name it. So I went with the Dakar. So hopefully this video will help in seeing how it's installed and what it looks like at the end. So hopefully this is all clear and it helps someone out there to make their mind up, but we'll go through the process and hopefully it's quite easy to fit, but from reading the instructions there's a bit to take off. So this is how it comes. Open it up. So you get our usual B&B hot pile stickers and instructions. There we go, B&B. It's probably about 7, 8, 9 kilos. But that's how it is. I got the black one. You can get the stainless steel polished, but I like black. But we'll see how we go. So we will have a look at the actual bike. I've already taken off the standard bash plate that was on there. This has got an installed Akrapovic, but apart from that it's pretty much stock. So I think we've got to take a bit of this off, a bit of that off. I think the catalytic converter or the exhaust has to come off, but we'll see how we go. So hopefully it's an easy job. So one of the first things that comes off is this plate here. So we'll take that off and go to the next step. The next stage is we've got to take off this plastic heat shield that is on the left hand side of the bike. The next thing we've got to do is we've got to, which is a pain in the bum, you've got to take off this whole blasted exhaust. It's on. So once you disconnect the exhaust, don't forget to take off the bolts, rest it on the foot peck, and then you can unclick the O2 sensor, otherwise will rip it out. So yeah, you probably don't have to take out this much, but it's just easy to get rid of the whole lot. One of the other things that comes with the bash plate is the original bash plate. You have a plate that basically goes from there to there, and in the B&B kit it gives you another type. You can either use these or you can supply those, but that's just a matter of taking those off. There's a spacer also in there. I prefer to just take my rubbers off. So, and then this plate with the curvature here fits up in there exactly. you get this other piece here, and it's just a thin bar, and all that is just screws into here. You don't have to tighten it. All it does is just hold that in there until the threading. Yeah, so it just holds it in there. This is the bash plate. Obviously you get these M8 screws and their own little rubber washers. It's as simple as just putting that on there and just threading that rubber. It's a bit stiff, but Jesus. And just sticking the rubber in there. That'll flatten, that will hold those. I don't know if you can see them. Holds these bolts with the rubber grommets on it. So then we'll go on to the next step. One of the other things to take out is the rear brake lever. One of the things that comes with the plate is a bracket, which has got the two, they're welded on bolts. You come with two nuts. So you have to take off these two frame bolts. So fits in like that. And two nuts just go on the end. They just have to be put on finger tight, because they come on, they get tightened later on once it all connects. The next thing that comes with it is the front brace, or the front mount, which is that, plus it comes with a large bolt. So it sort of basically goes across the front there. So you need to take this bolt off here. Don't know if you can see that. Might be a bit dark, but that's just a cross bolt that goes across above the oil filter. You need to take that out. You work that out pretty much easy when you start putting that on. Now after these have been, this has been connected, this whole system here can be tightened, whereas the other ones here are all loose to enable a bit of fitting, but this one can be tightened in full. The next part is to try and get this plate up into that. Now you've got a couple of screws and those bolts that we put in before, so we'll see how we go. Remembering we put these M8 30 bolts in before. See, you slowly have to lift this up from here, put the two in there just finger tight, and then the two in there, you'll have a bit of trouble trying to get them in because it keeps pushing the rubber out, or the bracket, but you'll eventually get in. But what I found is you've got to push this up past these bolts here. Anyway, that's just all fitted, but it hasn't been fitted tightly. It's not ready to go, so I've still got to put some underneath there. Once that's done, there's two countersunk bolts that fit in there. You'll see that. if you move over to the other side, we took this hose plate off what used to be there, the hoses there. So these hoses now just fit in between the plate, and you're given M8 25s, and which are just these ones here, and then they just go in there. There's one in there and there's one through there. So this is probably best to put a bit of grease on there. And then none of these are tight. I didn't tighten any of those, so now it's just a matter of going around tightening those two up the top, two there, and the countersunk ones on the other side, and the plate on the opposite side.